Hi children, in this video we shall see the second part of the story, The Weather Forecast Swindle, written by Jerome K. Jerome. So far we have seen that the speaker and his friend gave up their picnic plans because of the weather forecast. And they were waiting for the heavy showers. While they stay at home, they could see all other people going outside. And the speaker and his friends, they are wondering at the people who were going outside. Huh? We said, as we stood looking out at them through the window. Won't they come home soaked? The speaker and his friends were standing at the window and they were looking out at the people who were passing by the house, and they began to wonder, won't they come home soaked? Soaked means to get wet. The speaker and his friends, they began to wonder whether these people will get wet in the heavy rain. Why are these people going outside now? It will be heavily raining now, and why are these people going outside now? Won't they get wet in the heavy rain? And we laughed to think how wet they were going to get. And the speaker and his friends began to laugh by thinking how wet they are going to get in the heavy rain, and came back and stirred the fire and got our books. Then the speaker and his friends came back to their room. They stirred the fire. Stirred means to adjust the fire. They made all the preparations to welcome the rainy day. They stirred the fire, they adjusted the fire to heat themselves, and they also got the books to read in the rain. They were ready to welcome the rain. By 12 o'clock, with the sun pouring into the room, the heat became quite unbearable. It became 12 o'clock. The sun was pouring into the room. Pouring means to flow. The sunrise were pouring into the room, and it became extremely hot. And we wondered when those heavy showers and occasional thunderstorms were going to begin. And the speaker and his friends, they wondered when those heavy showers and occasional thunderstorms that were predicted by the weather forecast will begin. They will come in the afternoon, you will find, we said to each other. The speaker and his friends, they consoled each other, they comforted each other by saying, the thunderstorms and heavy rain will come in the afternoon. Let's wait for it. Oh, won't those people get wet? How amusing that's going to be. And they began to say that the people who are going outside will get wet in the rain. And that's going to be an amazing sight. It will be an interesting sight to see. At 1 o'clock, the landlady would come in to ask if we weren't going out, as it seemed such a lovely day. At 1 o'clock, a landlady, the owner of the building, came to them and she asked them whether they are not going outside because it was such a lovely day and all other people were going outside. And when the landlady came that way, she asked them, why do they stay at home on such a lovely day? No, we replied with a knowing laugh, not we. And the speaker and his friends replied, no, they are not going outside. With a knowing laugh. Knowing laugh means they laughed as if they know what is going to happen. They gave a knowing laugh. Then they said, not we don't mean to get wet. No, we are not going outside because we don't want to get wet in the heavy rain. It will be heavily raining now and we don't want to get wet. We will stay at home. And when the afternoon was nearly gone and still there was no sign of rain, we tried to cheer ourselves up with the idea that it would come down all at once. The time passed by. The afternoon was almost gone and still there was no sign of rain. The sun was still shining in the sky. And the author, the speaker, and his friends tried to cheer each other, they tried to comfort each other with the idea that it would come down all at once. They began to think that the heavy showers and thunderstorms will come all at once. They will come all of a sudden. Just as the people had started for home and were out of the reach of any shelter. When the heavy rain and thunderstorms come all of a sudden, all at once, the people may be in outside. Most of the people will be outside. They may be traveling to their home, they may be returning to their home, and they may be out of reach of any shelter. They won't be able to find any shelter quickly. And they would thus get more drenched than ever. Thus, they will get more drenched. Drenched means thoroughly wet or soaked. Thus, all these people who are going outside will be drenched than ever. They will be thoroughly wet than ever. But not a drop ever fell. But still, not even a single drop fell from above. And it finished a grand day. Thus, a good day, a grand day was finished. And a lovely night after it. It also ruined a lovely night, which means there was no rain either in the day or in the night. Both the day and night were completely ruined. The next morning, we would read that it was going to be a warm, fine day, much heat. In the very next morning, the newspaper reported another forecast, and they said it's going to be a warm and fine day with much heat. There won't be heavy rain or thunderstorms on the day. It will be a warm and fine day with much heat. And we would dress ourselves in flimsy things and go out. So they again followed the weather forecast. The speaker and his friends, they went outside by wearing flimsy things. Flimsy means very light or thin. The speaker and his friends went outside by wearing flimsy clothes. And what happened? Half an hour after we had started, it would start to rain hard. So within half an hour they had started their journey, it began to rain hard. And a bitterly cold wind would spring up. Along with the heavy rain, a bitterly cold wind, a harsh cold wind also sprung up. And both would keep on steadily for the whole day. Both the rain and the cold wind continued for the whole day, continued steadily for all the day. And we would come home with the cold and go to bed. The speaker and his friends, they got cold in the heavy rain and they came back home and they went to bed. So this is how the weather forecast deceived or cheated the speaker. This is how the weather forecast ruined his fine days. Everything happened just opposed to their predictions, and this is why the speaker hated the weather forecast the most. And now the speaker is saying that the weather is a thing that is beyond me altogether. He says that weather is a thing that is beyond my prediction. It's a thing that is unpredictable for me. It is completely out of my predictions. I never can understand it. He won't ever understand it. He will never understand about the weather. The barometer is useless. It is as misleading as the newspaper forecast. He says that the barometer is useless. Barometer is an instrument used to determine the weather. It is used to forecast the weather, and it is useless because it does not forecast accurately. And it is as misleading as the newspaper forecast. So he don't believe in weather forecast. It is a deceiving thing. It is a fraudulent thing. They are swindlers. They are cheaters. This is how a barometer looked like.